Interesting story here on the F1Chronicle.com, basically saying that next year in 2026, the Formula 1 teams will be able to test their 2025 cars. Now, you might be thinking, well, why? That doesn't sound very strange. Of course they should be able to test them. But under the Formula 1 rules, the amount of time you'll be actually able to test these older cars and how recent these cars are allowed to be is limited. Now, normally you can only test cars that are 2 years older or older than that. But next year, they're allowing an exception, are the FA. So let's have a look at this rule change here, guys, because this could very much change up how testing is going to happen in 12 months' time. Full article on the F1Chronicle.com, as always. Formula 1 teams will be allowed to use 1-year-old 2025 cars for their testing of previous cars' TPC programs next year. The usual TPC rules demand that cars be 2-year-old for track runs, often being for young drivers, but 2026 big rule shake-up changes that. Auto, Motor und Sport reports that this could sting teams swapping engine suppliers. Sauber, who are now Ferrari-powered, goes to Audi in 2026. Ferrari is not particularly interested in continuing to provide Sauber with engines for the 2025 car because Audi would then have a benchmark and might get too much information from a competitor's product, journalist Michael Schmidt revealed. And even if Maranello were to agree, the price would be so high that one has to ask whether it's worth it. There is talk of $3 to $5 million per engine. That's a lot of money. And in a cost cap here in Formula 1, that is a hell of a lot of money. That is coming up to what their driver salaries will be, if not even more, in fact. Aston Martin, who are ditching Mercedes for Honda in 2026, isn't phased though. But they are not put off by the high cost, Schmidt said, especially as it is not part of the budget cap. Oh, well, there you go. I am corrected by that. It's not part of the budget cap, but it is still a lot of money to spend, and it has to come from somewhere. Mercedes has only one condition. Aston Martin must run its EC program from an external building with a separate team, thus clearly distinguishing itself from the operational team that is supplied with engines by Honda. Alpine's flipping from Renault to Mercedes power. A small group of Renault engineers will be available at Vieux-Châtillon for the TPC tech, who will look after the 2025 Renault power units before the 2026 Alpine Mercedes can be used in 2028, Schmidt explained. I think that's meant to say 2026 there, but anyway. Red Bull's trickier though. They're crafting their own engine with Ford as Honda jumps ship. There is an agreement with Honda for the future, team advisor Dr. Helmut Marko contended. Yeah, it's weird with Red Bull because they have a Honda engine, but it is built at Red Bull powertrains and branded as Red Bull powertrains. They are not technically a Honda, but they kind of are Honda. They took a bunch of ex-Honda staff. It is effectively generated out of a works Honda power units. It's kind of Honda, kind of not, but they're obviously losing that Honda support for next year, and they're getting the Ford in instead. So yeah, interesting rule change. I think it's a sensible rule change. All I would say though, and I think they're doing this because it is not that going to be that big of an impact really when you think about it, because the 2026 car engines are going to be so different, and the 2026 cars in general will be so much different to 2025 that a lot of the testing they're going to be able to do, and what testing that is, will be very limited. Of course, these TPC programs are very much limited in terms of mileage and time and all that sort of stuff. You know, because of that, I don't think that running is going to be very representative. It's like running a 2013 car in 2014. The cars are completely different, both technically and aerodynamically. So interesting rule change, but I don't think it's going to really change that much, to be honest with you. I mean, they're not going to allow 2026 cars to be tested in 2027, for example. It's very much going to be a one-off. I can't see them repeating that again for another year. But something I do see happening, I think they're going to have to run more testing time overall, really, when it comes to these new cars in 2026. Really, that is my prediction. But we'll see what happens there, guys. But yeah, what do you think of this rule, guys? Is it fair? Is it a smart move from the FIA and Formula 1? I think it is, personally. Your thoughts in the comments below, as always. Have a great day, guys. Have a great week. Like, share, comment, subscribe as always if you want to see some more content on the world of Formula 1 just like this. And if you want to join the world's biggest Formula One Substack community, head over to the F1Chronicle.com. On there you get some written stories, you get some videos in the written stories, and you get some just plain old videos as well for exclusive member benefits as well, if you are so inclined. So yeah, great week guys, see you very soon.